Welcome, dear listener, and thank you for joining me here on Mindleapic. Tonight, we will gently drift into a quiet place, far from noise, far from worry, a small Viking village resting peacefully beside the sea. Before we begin, you might like to softly press the like button and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these calm journeys through history. And if you feel comfortable, let me know in the comments where you are listening from tonight. A city, a town, or somewhere far away. Now, slowly settle in. Dim the lights around you. Let your body sink into your bed or your chair and allow your breath to become soft and steady. There is nowhere to go, nothing to do, only to listen and gently drift. The village rests at the edge of a wide, quiet sea. It is early morning, just before sunrise. The sky is pale, a soft gray blue, and a thin mist floats low over the water. Small wooden houses sit close together, their roofs covered in turf and grass. Some have a faint curl of smoke rising from a hole in the roof, slowly twisting into the cool air. The sea is calm today. It moves in slow, steady waves, touching the shore, and then pulling back again, over and over, in a quiet rhythm. You can almost hear it, a soft hush, a gentle breath of water against stone and sand. Inside one of the homes, a man begins to wake. His name is Eirik. He does not rush. There is no need. The village does not wake with noise or urgency. It wakes slowly, like the sea, like the light. Eirik lies still for a moment. Listening, he hears the faint crackle of last night's fire, still warm, still alive beneath a layer of ash. He hears the distant sound of a gull, calling once, then again, somewhere above the shoreline, and he hears the quiet breathing of the others in the room. His family sleeps nearby, wrapped in wool blankets, resting peacefully. Eirik slowly sits up. The air is cool, but not cold. He reaches for his simple wool tunic, rough to the touch, but warm and familiar. He pulls it over his shoulders, moving slowly, carefully, so as not to wake the others. He steps outside. The ground is soft beneath his feet, a mix of earth and grass, still damp with morning dew. The village is quiet. A few others are awake, moving gently, speaking in low voices, or simply standing still, looking out toward the sea. No one is in a hurry. There is a rhythm here, a steady, peaceful way of living, shaped by light, by weather, by time. Eirik walks toward the shoreline. Each step is slow, steady, unhurried. The mist still lingers over the water, soft and pale, like a thin blanket resting on the sea. A small wooden boat is tied near the shore. It moves slightly with each wave, rocking gently, back and forth, as if it, too, is waking slowly. Eirik reaches the edge of the water. He pauses. He always pauses here. It is part of his morning. He looks out across the wide sea, endless, calm, and quiet. There is no sound of battle, no shouting, no fear, only the sea, and the slow rising light of a new day. Behind him, the village begins to stir. A door opens softly. Footsteps move across the ground. Someone adds wood to a fire, and a faint crackling sound begins again. A woman carries a wooden bucket, walking toward the well, her steps steady and calm. A child peeks out from a doorway, rubbing sleep from their eyes. Looking around with quiet curiosity, Eirik kneels by the water. He dips his hands into the sea. The water is cold, but clean. He washes his face slowly, letting the coolness wake him fully. Droplets fall back into the sea, merging again with the quiet waves. This is how the day begins. Not with noise, not with urgency, but with stillness, with small movements, with simple routines. Eirik stands and turns back toward the village. There is work to do, but it is not heavy in the mind. Fishing nets must be checked. Wood must be gathered. Food must be prepared. but all of it is done slowly, step by step, as it has always been. The sun begins to rise now. A soft, golden light touches the tops of the houses, then slowly spreads across the ground. The mist begins to fade, and the village becomes clearer, warmer, more alive, yet still calm. Eric walks back toward his home. The smell of smoke and warm grain fills the air. Inside, the fire has been gently stirred back to life. A pot rests above it, and soon there will be a simple meal. Nothing rich, nothing complex, just warm food, shared quietly. He enters the house without sound. His family is beginning to wake. A soft voice, a small stretch, the quiet start of another peaceful day. Outside, the sea continues its slow rhythm. Waves come and go, just as they did yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. And in this small Viking village, there is no rush, only the gentle passing of time, and the quiet comfort of daily life. Let your breathing follow the sea, slow, steady, soft, in and out, in and out. The day has only just begun. The morning light grows a little stronger now, spreading gently across the village, touching the grass roofs, the wooden walls, and the quiet paths between them. Inside Eric's home, the fire has been carefully tended. Small orange flames rise again, soft and steady, not too bright, not too loud. A pot hangs above it, and inside, simple grains begin to warm. The scent is mild, comforting, familiar, a smell that belongs to every morning. Eric sits on a low wooden bench. He moves slowly. There is no need to hurry. Across from him, his wife, Sigrid, gently stirs the pot. Her movements are calm, practiced. She has done this many times before. She does not rush either. She watches the fire, listens to its quiet crackle, and stirs again, slowly, evenly, again and again. A child sits nearby, still a little sleepy, wrapped in a soft wool blanket. The child watches the fire, eyes half open, quiet, peaceful. Sometimes, the simplest moments are the most gentle. Sigrid pours a little of the warm grain into a wooden bowl, then another, and another. Each bowl is plain, carved by hand, smooth from years of use. She passes one to Eric. Their hands move slowly, without words, because none are needed. Eric takes a small breath before eating. The warmth rises from the bowl, carrying a soft, earthy scent. He lifts the spoon, one slow bite, then another. There is no rush. Each movement is steady, each moment quiet. Outside, the village continues to wake. More doors open now, soft wooden sounds, gentle footsteps on damp ground. A few voices drift through the air, low, calm, never sharp. Some people walk toward the shore. Others move toward small storage huts, preparing for the day ahead. After the meal, Eric stands. He stretches slowly, feeling the gentle pull of his arms and shoulders. The day's work will begin soon, but always, slowly, always with care. He reaches for his cloak. It is made of thick wool, heavy, but warm. He places it over his shoulders, adjusting it carefully, as he has done many mornings before. Outside, the air has softened. The early chill begins to fade, replaced by a quiet, cool warmth. The sea is clearer now. The mist has almost disappeared, leaving behind a wide, open view of the water. It stretches far into the distance, calm and steady. Eric walks again toward the shoreline, but this time, he is not alone. 2 other villagers walk nearby. They nod gently as they pass. No loud greetings, no hurried talk, just a quiet understanding, a shared rhythm. Near the shore, several small boats rest side by side. They are simple, wooden, built with care, and used with patience. The ropes that hold them are tied securely. moving slightly with each small wave. Eric kneels beside one of the boats. He begins to check the fishing nets. His hands move slowly through the rope, untangling small knots, smoothing rough places. This work takes time, and that is all right. The nets carry the scent of salt and sea, a soft, steady smell that lingers in the air. Eric lifts part of the net, examining it closely. If a strand is weak, he repairs it. If a knot is tight, he loosens it. Each small action matters. Each quiet moment adds to the day. Beside him, another villager does the same. No one speaks much. There is comfort in the silence. Only the sound of hands moving through rope. And the sea, always the sea. Farther along the shore, a few children walk together. They carry small sticks, drawing simple lines in the sand. They pause often, looking at shells, watching the water. Their voices are soft, light, gentle. Even their play is calm, shaped by the quiet world around them. A seabird glides low over the water. Its wings move slowly, barely touching the air. It calls once, then disappears into the wide sky. Eric finishes checking the nets. He folds them carefully, placing them neatly into the boat. There is no rush to leave. The sea will wait. It always waits. He stands, looking once more across the water. The light now dances softly on the surface, small reflections, moving slowly with each wave. Behind him, the village continues its gentle rhythm. Smoke rises in thin lines. Voices drift and fade. Footsteps come and go. This is how the morning moves forward. Not fast, not loud, just steady, simple, and calm. You can almost feel it. The soft ground beneath your feet, the cool air on your skin, the quiet presence of the sea nearby. Take a slow breath in and let it out gently, just like the waves, in and out, in and out. The day continues, one small moment at a time. The sun has now risen a little higher, its light soft and steady, spreading gently across the village and the quiet sea. The air feels different now, not cold, not warm, just a calm balance in between. Eric steps into the small boat. It moves slightly beneath his weight, rocking once, then settling again. He places the folded nets carefully beside him, making sure nothing is tangled, nothing out of place. Another villager joins him. They exchange a quiet nod, a simple understanding. No need for many words. Together, they begin to prepare. One checks the oars, running his hand along the smooth wood, feeling for any rough edges. The other adjusts the rope at the front of the boat, loosening it slowly, letting it fall gently into the water. The boat drifts just a little, still close to the shore, waiting. With slow, steady movements, they push away from land. The boat glides forward, barely making a sound. The water parts quietly around it, then closes again behind. The rhythm begins. Dip and pull, dip and pull. The oars move through the water, soft, steady, unhurried. Each stroke is smooth, each motion the same as before, and the same as many mornings past. The village slowly grows smaller behind them. The houses, the smoke, the soft movement of people, all becoming part of the distance, but never truly far. Out here, the sea feels wide, open, calm, endless. There is no rush here, no noise, no sharp sounds, only the quiet movement of water and the soft creak of wood. Eric pauses his rowing for a moment. He lets the boat drift. The surface of the sea is like a mirror, broken only by small, gentle waves. He watches the light shimmer, moving slowly, never still, but never fast. Then, with care, he reaches for the net. It is heavier now, carrying the weight of water and the quiet work of the day. He lowers it into the sea, slowly, carefully, letting it sink just enough, then holding it steady. There is patience in this work. Nothing happens quickly. The sea gives in its own time. They wait. The boat drifts gently, rocking ever so slightly, back and forth, back and forth. Time passes, but it does not feel long. There is no counting of minutes, no watching of shadows, only the quiet presence of the moment. A soft breeze moves across the water. It touches the surface, creating small ripples that spread outward. It brushes against Eric's face, cool, light, and gentle. He closes his eyes for just a moment, breathing slowly, in and out. Then he opens them again. The world is the same, calm, steady, unchanged. He begins to lift the net, slowly, with care. The rope slides through his hands, wet, rough, familiar. There is weight there now, not heavy, but enough. Small fish move within the net, silver shapes, shifting gently, catching the soft morning light. Eric does not rush. He lifts the net fully into the boat, placing it carefully. Each movement is quiet, each action steady. Beside him, the other villager continues the same work. Two people, moving in a shared rhythm, without needing to speak. The sea continues its slow breath. Waves come and go, come and go. Far above, a bird circles once more. It glides, watching, then drifts away again. After some time, the nets are gathered. The boat carries what it needs. Not too much, not too little, just enough. Eric rests his hands on the side of the boat. He looks out across the open water, letting the moment settle. There is no rush to return. The village will still be there, waiting quietly. But soon, they begin to turn back. The oars move again, dip and pull, dip and pull. The same rhythm as before. Slowly, the shoreline grows closer. The shapes of the houses return. The soft lines of smoke, the gentle movement of people. The village welcomes them back, not with noise, but with quiet presence. The boat reaches the shore. It touches the sand softly, a gentle end to the journey. Eric steps out. His feet press into the damp ground, cool and soft. He lifts the net once more, carrying it slowly toward the village. The day continues, just as it began, simple, steady, and calm. Take another slow breath. Let your thoughts drift like the boat on the water, soft, light, and unhurried. The rhythm carries on. The shoreline feels familiar beneath Eric's feet, soft, slightly damp, shaped by the quiet touch of the sea. Each step leaves a faint mark in the sand, a small impression that slowly fades as the water reaches forward, then gently pulls away again. He does not hurry. There is no need to move quickly. The village is close, and the day is still calm and open. Behind him, the boat rests once more, tied carefully, just as before. It rocks gently with the water, back and forth, as if it, too, is resting after its quiet work. Eric carries the net over his shoulder. It is heavier now, filled with the morning's catch, but the weight is steady, not overwhelming. The rope presses softly against his tunic, leaving faint lines in the fabric. He adjusts it once, then continues walking. The village paths are becoming more active now, not loud, not busy, just gently alive. A few people pass by, carrying wooden buckets or small bundles of wood. They nod as they walk, simple greetings, quiet acknowledgments. No one rushes past, no one calls out loudly. Everything remains soft and steady. Near one of the homes, a woman kneels beside a low wooden table. She sorts dried herbs into small piles, carefully separating leaves and stems. Her hands move slowly, with care, with patience. The scent of the herbs drifts lightly through the air, earthy, calm, and warm. A little farther along, an older man sits on a stool. He works with a piece of wood. shaping it gently with a small knife. Each movement is slow, controlled, thoughtful. Small curls of wood fall to the ground, one by one, soft and quiet. Eric passes them both, his steps steady. The village feels like it always does, peaceful, familiar, grounded. He reaches a small open space near his home. Here, a wooden rack stands. It is used for drying fish, simple in its design, strong enough to hold what is needed. Eric lowers the net carefully. He kneels beside it. One by one, he begins to remove the fish. His hands move with care, untangling each one slowly, so the net remains in good condition. There is no rushing this work. Each small action matters. The fish are placed gently onto the rack, side by side, neatly arranged. Their silver scales catch the soft sunlight, reflecting small glimmers of light. A faint breeze moves through the village. It carries the scent of salt, of wood smoke, and now the quiet, clean smell of the sea's gift. Nearby, Sigrid steps outside. She pauses for a moment, looking toward Eric. There is no need to speak, just a shared glance, a quiet understanding. She begins her own morning tasks, a wooden bucket in her hand. She walks toward the well. Her steps are even, measured, calm. The well sits near the center of the village, a simple structure, built from stone and wood. A rope hangs down, attached to a bucket that disappears into the darkness below. Sigrid reaches it and takes hold of the rope. She lowers the bucket slowly. The rope slides through her hands, rough but familiar, down and down, until a soft sound echoes upward, a quiet splash. She pauses, then begins to pull. Slowly, steadily, the weight rises. The rope tightens. Her arms move in a gentle rhythm. When the bucket reaches the top, water glimmers inside. Still, clear, cool, she lifts it carefully, pouring the water into her own bucket. Not a drop wasted. Each movement is mindful. Around her, others come and go, each person taking what they need, each person moving in the same quiet rhythm. Back near the drying rack, Eric continues his work. The last fish is placed. The net is now empty. He gathers it slowly, folding it once more, carefully, so it will be ready again tomorrow. He stands, stretching his back gently. The work is not heavy, but the body still feels it. A small effort, repeated over time. The sun has climbed higher now. Its warmth spreads more clearly across the village. The grass roofs glow softly. The wooden walls hold a gentle heat. Children move through the open space, their steps light, their voices soft. They carry small objects, shells, smooth stones, pieces of wood, simple treasures. One child pauses near Eric, looking up, curious but quiet. Eric gives a small nod. The child smiles, then continues on. Life moves like this, simple, steady, uncomplicated. There is no rush, no loud command, no sudden change, only the gentle passing of time. Eric walks toward the shade of his home. He sits once more, on the same wooden bench. The air is warmer now, but still comfortable. He rests his hands on his knees, looking out across the village, watching the quiet movement of people, the slow rhythm of daily life. The sea continues its soft breath in the distance, always there, always steady. Take a slow breath now, in and out. Let your mind follow the same rhythm. Nothing fast, nothing sharp, only calm, only gentle movement. The day continues to unfold, one quiet moment at a time. The warmth of the day settles softly over the village now. Not strong, not heavy, just a gentle layer of light that rests on everything it touches. Eric remains seated for a while, still relaxed, letting his body rest after the slow work of the morning. There is no need to fill every moment. In this place, rest is part of the rhythm too, A faint sound drifts through the air, the soft tapping of wood. Steady, even, unhurried. The older man continues shaping his piece of timber, each small cut careful, each movement measured. The sound blends with the quiet world around it, never sharp, never disturbing, just another layer of calm. Eric slowly stands again. His body moves without strain, without effort. He brushes his hands lightly against his tunic, then steps back into the open space of the village. Near the edge of the homes, a small group gathers, not in a hurry, not in noise, just a few people standing together, speaking in low voices. They are preparing for the midday meal. Simple tasks, shared quietly. A wooden table is set outside, rough, strong, worn by years of use. It stands steady on the earth, surrounded by low stools and benches. Sigrid returns from the well. She carries the bucket carefully, the water inside still and clear. She sets it down beside the table. The wood gives a soft sound as it meets the ground. Another villager brings dried grain, stored in a small woven sack. He pours it slowly into a shallow bowl, letting the grain settle. The work is quiet. Each person knows their role, each movement familiar. No one needs to speak loudly or give direction. It simply flows. Eric joins them. He takes a seat at the edge of the table. His hands rest gently in front of him. He watches, listens, breathes. The smell of food begins to grow, warm, soft, comforting. A pot is placed over a small outdoor fire. The flames are low, steady, giving just enough heat. Water is poured in. Grain follows. Then a few simple herbs, carefully added, not too much, not too little. The mixture begins to warm. A slow movement, a gentle thickening. Sigrid stirs it with a wooden spoon. Round and round, slowly, evenly. The same motion, again and again. Time passes, quietly. No one watches the clock. No one counts the minutes. The food will be ready when it is ready. Nearby, a child sits on the ground, drawing shapes in the dirt with a small stick. Circles, lines, simple patterns. The child pauses often, looking at the shapes, then gently smoothing them away. Then, starting again, the breeze moves through the village once more. Soft, light, carrying the scent of warm grain and wood smoke. It brushes past faces, through hair, across the open space. Eric closes his eyes for a moment, just for a breath or two, letting the warmth of the day settle around him. In the distance, the sea continues its steady rhythm. Waves come and go, always the same, always gentle. The food is ready now. Sigrid lifts the pot slightly, setting it down with care. The steam rises slowly, carrying a soft, earthy scent. Bowls are passed around, one by one. Each person receives their portion. No one takes more than they need. No one rushes ahead. Everything remains balanced, calm, and fair. Eric takes his bowl. The warmth reaches his hands immediately, comforting, steady, grounding. He lifts the spoon, one slow bite, then another. The taste is simple. Grain, water, a hint of herbs. Nothing strong, nothing sharp, just quiet nourishment. Around the table, others eat in the same way. No loud conversation, no sudden laughter, just soft voices, occasional words, and long moments of peaceful silence. A bird lands nearby. It hops once, then again, watching carefully. It tilts its head, then flutters away. The meal continues, slow, steady, unhurried. Each person present, each moment gentle. After some time, the bowls begin to empty, one by one. They are set down. Sigrid gathers them quietly, stacking them carefully, preparing to wash them later. Eric leans back slightly, his body relaxed, his breath slow. The work of the morning is done. The meal is complete. And now, A quiet space opens in the day. This is the middle of the day, a time not for rushing, but for pausing, for sitting, for breathing, for simply being. Some villagers return to their homes, resting in the shade. Others remain outside, watching the sky or the slow movement of the sea. Eric stays where he is, listening, feeling the gentle warmth on his skin, hearing the distant waves, the soft wind, the quiet presence of life around him. Take a slow breath here. Let your body feel heavy, supported, calm. In and out. Nothing needs to change. Nothing needs to happen. This moment is enough. The day continues, slowly, softly, as it always does. The midday quiet lingers gently over the village, like a soft blanket of stillness, resting on the rooftops, the paths, the open spaces between homes. The sun stands higher now, its light steady, calm and warm, not too bright, not too strong, just enough to soften the air. Eric remains seated for a while longer. His hands rest loosely in his lap, his shoulders relaxed, his breathing slow and even. There is no need to rise just yet. This quiet pause, this still moment, is part of the day. Around him, others begin to move again. Not quickly, not all at once. Just one person standing, then another, each returning gently to their small tasks. Sigrid carries the empty bowls toward a wooden basin. She pours a little water inside, the surface rippling softly. One by one, she cleans each bowl. Her hands move slowly, wiping, rinsing, placing them aside. The sound is soft. Water against wood, a quiet rhythm of its own. Nearby, a young boy gathers small sticks. He moves carefully along the edge of the village, picking up only what he needs, a few sticks at a time, held gently in his arms. He pauses often, looking around, listening, then continuing again. The air carries the scent of warm earth now. The morning dew has long faded, leaving behind a soft dryness underfoot. Eric finally stands. Slowly, without strain, he stretches his arms, feeling the gentle pull, then lets them fall again to his sides. There is wood to prepare. Not much, just enough for the coming evening. He walks toward the edge of the village. There, a small pile of cut branches rests, collected over days. Never too much, never taken in excess. He selects one piece at a time, examining it briefly, turning it in his hands, then placing it onto a low chopping block. The axe is simple, its handle worn smooth, its weight familiar. Eric lifts it slowly, then lowers it with care. A soft, steady strike. Not loud, not sharp, just a quiet sound, absorbed by the open air. The wood splits cleanly, 2 pieces instead of 1. He repeats the motion, slowly, evenly. Lift and lower, lift and lower. There is a rhythm here too, not rushed, not forced, just steady movement, guided by patience. With each piece, the small pile of firewood grows, neatly stacked, ready for later. A breeze passes again, softer now, warmer than before. It moves through the grass roofs, across the open space, brushing lightly against Eric's face. He pauses, resting the axe against the block, taking a slow breath in and letting it out. For a moment, he simply stands, feeling the quiet, hearing the distant sea, still moving in its endless rhythm. Farther along, 2 women sit together. They work with wool, spinning it slowly into thread. Their hands move with care, twisting, pulling, guiding the fibers. The motion is smooth, continuous, almost like breathing. They speak softly, a few quiet words, then silence again. Comfortable silence. A dog lies nearby, resting in the shade, its eyes half closed, its body still. Only its breathing moves, slow and calm. Eric returns to his work. The wood is nearly finished now, just a few more pieces. lift, and lower, lift, and lower. When he is done, he sets the axe aside. He gathers the wood, carrying it carefully toward his home. Inside, the air is cooler, shaded from the sun, still and quiet. He places the wood near the fire pit, arranging it neatly, everything in its place, ready when it is needed. For now, the fire rests. Only a faint warmth remains from earlier, a soft reminder of the morning. Eric steps back outside. The afternoon has begun. Though it feels much like the morning, time moves gently here. Without sharp edges, children wander slowly along the paths. Some carry small wooden toys. Others simply walk, watching, exploring. One child stops near a patch of grass, kneeling down, running their fingers through the blades, feeling the softness, the quiet life beneath their hands. The sky above is wide and clear, a soft blue, stretching far beyond sight. A single cloud drifts slowly, changing shape as it moves. Eric sits once more, this time near the doorway of his home, half in shade, half in light. He watches the village, the slow movement of people, the gentle flow of the day. Nothing sudden, nothing loud, only calm. Take a slow breath again. Let your body soften. Let your thoughts drift, like the cloud in the sky. Slow, light, unhurried. The afternoon continues, quietly, gently, just as it should. The afternoon stretches out gently, long and quiet, like a soft path with no clear end. The sun begins to lean ever so slightly, not yet low, but no longer at its highest point. Its light feels softer now, more golden, more relaxed. Eric remains seated near the doorway, half in shade, half in light. The warmth touches one side of his face, while the other stays cool, a quiet balance. He listens, not to anything in particular, just to the gentle sounds that fill the air. The distant sea, always steady, a soft breeze moving through grass, a faint creak of wood, footsteps passing slowly. Nothing asks for attention. Everything simply exists, side by side, in calm harmony. After a while, Eric leans forward slightly, placing his hands on his knees. He stands again, slowly, with no rush. There is still more of the day to move through. He walks toward a small area behind the homes. Here, a few wooden frames stand, simple structures, used for mending tools and small objects. A fishing line rests across one of the frames, thin, worn in places, but still useful. Eric picks it up gently. He runs his fingers along its length, feeling for weak spots, small frays, tiny breaks. His hands move slowly, carefully. This work requires attention, but not urgency. When he finds a weak place, he pauses, then begins to mend it. A small knot, tied with patience, pulled tight, but not too tight. He checks it once, then again. Satisfied, he continues. The line stretches between his hands. Simple, quiet, an everyday object, but important in its own way. Nearby, another villager sits with a basket. Inside are small pieces of leather. The villager works slowly, stitching them together with a bone needle. In and out, in and out. The motion repeats, soft and steady. No one speaks, not because they must be silent, but because silence feels natural here, comfortable. A soft shadow begins to form on the ground, barely noticeable at first, then slowly growing longer. The sun continues its quiet journey. Eric finishes mending the line. He coils it neatly, loop by loop, even and careful, then places it aside, ready for another day. He sits down on a low wooden stool, just for a moment, letting his hands rest, letting his shoulders soften. The breeze returns again, slightly cooler now. It moves through the open space, carrying faint sounds from the shore, the gentle wash of waves, a distant call of a seabird, always soft, always far away. A few children pass nearby. They walk slowly, following no strict path. One of them carries a smooth stone, turning it over in their hands. Another watches the ground, as if searching for something small and hidden. They do not run. They do not shout. Their movement matches the village. Calm, unhurried, steady. Eric watches them for a moment, then lets his gaze drift toward the sea. It is still there, wide, quiet, unchanged. The surface moves gently, reflecting the soft afternoon light. Time passes, but it does not feel like passing. There is no counting here, no sense of rushing forward, only a slow unfolding. Moment by moment, Eric stands again. He walks a little farther this time, toward the edge of the grassy land, where the ground slopes gently down, toward the shore. He pauses there, looking out. The horizon is calm, a thin line where sea meets sky. The colors blend softly, blue into pale gold, gold into light gray. He takes a slow breath in. The air carries salt and something warm, something steady. He breathes out, letting everything settle. Behind him, the village continues its quiet life. Small movements, simple tasks, soft voices. Nothing breaks the calm. Nothing disturbs the rhythm. Eric turns back slowly, walking once more toward the center of the village. Each step steady, each movement gentle. The afternoon is slowly preparing to become evening. Not yet, but soon. The light will change again. The air will cool. The shadows will grow longer. But for now, everything remains as it is. Peaceful, steady, unhurried. Take a slow breath here. Let your thoughts drift, like the sea, wide, calm, endless. The day continues, softly, quietly, as it always does. The afternoon light begins to soften even more now, turning gently from bright gold to a quieter, warmer glow. Shadows stretch longer across the ground, thin at first, then slowly reaching farther, touching the edges of paths, the sides of homes, the feet of those who walk by. Eric moves at an easy pace through the village. There is no destination that calls him quickly, only a slow drifting, a quiet presence within the space he knows so well. He passes by the well again. Now it is still. The rope hangs quietly, the bucket resting just above the water below. No one is there at this moment, just the faint echo of earlier movement. Now settled into silence. A soft creak comes from one of the nearby homes. A door opening, slowly, then closing again. The sound fades quickly, blending back into the calm. Eric continues walking. His feet press gently into the earth. The ground feels warmer than before, holding the day's light. Releasing it slowly, he reaches a small patch of grass near the edge of the village. Here, the land feels softer, less worn by footsteps. He lowers himself down, sitting carefully. The grass bends beneath him, cool at its roots, warm at its tips, a quiet place to rest. He leans back slightly, supporting himself with his hands. His gaze lifts toward the sky. The blue above has softened. A few thin clouds drift slowly, moving so gently it is almost hard to notice. They change shape as they go, stretching, fading, reforming again. Eric watches them for a while. There is no need to think, just to see, and let the mind follow their slow movement. A bird crosses the sky, its wings spread wide, gliding without effort. It circles once, then continues on, disappearing into the open distance. The breeze is softer now. It no longer carries the coolness of morning. Instead, it feels calm, even, like a quiet hand passing through the air. Eric closes his eyes for a moment, just to feel it. The light on his face, the air against his skin, the steady ground beneath him. His breathing slows, in and out, not far away. A small group of villagers gather near a home. They sit together, working quietly. One weaves thin strips of plant fiber into a small mat. Over, under, over, under. The pattern grows slowly, evenly, without mistake. Another shapes a small piece of clay, turning it gently in their hands, pressing, smoothing, giving it form. Their voices are low, occasional words, soft laughter, then silence again. Everything remains gentle. Everything remains steady. Eric opens his eyes. The sky has shifted just slightly. The light now feels softer, more golden than before. He slowly sits upright, brushing a bit of grass from his tunic. Nearby, a child lies on their back in the grass, looking up at the sky, watching the clouds. Their hands rest on their chest, still, calm, peaceful. For a moment, Eric watches the child, then looks back toward the sea. From here, the shoreline is visible again. The water continues its endless motion, waves coming in, then slipping away, always the same, always changing. The sound reaches him softly, a distant hush, a quiet rhythm. He stands slowly, no sudden movement, just a gentle rise. The village begins to shift again, not into noise, but into a slightly different rhythm. The feeling of evening approaches. Some villagers begin gathering small items, tools, baskets, pieces of wood. Nothing hurried, just quiet preparation. A faint smell of smoke returns. Someone has begun to light an evening fire. The scent drifts slowly through the air, warm, familiar, grounding. Eric walks back toward his home. The path feels easy beneath his feet, each step known, each turn familiar. As he walks, the light touches everything more softly now. Edges blur slightly, colors deepen, shadows stretch longer still. He reaches the doorway, pauses for a moment, looking out once more at the village. The calm remains. It has never left, only shifted, gently, slowly, with the passing of time. Take a slow breath here. Let your body sink a little deeper. Feel the quiet of the evening beginning. In and out, in and out. The day is slowly turning, not ending, just softening, into something even more still. The evening begins to settle softly over the village, like a slow exhale, gentle, quiet, and unhurried. The sun lowers a little more, its light now deeper, warmer, spreading long golden tones across the ground. Eric steps inside his home. The air within is calm, cooler than outside, touched faintly by the scent of wood and earth. He pauses near the doorway, allowing his eyes to adjust to the softer light. The shapes inside are familiar. The low fire pit, the wooden benches, the woven blankets resting neatly nearby. He moves slowly toward the fire, kneeling beside it. He places a few small pieces of wood onto the fading embers. Not too much, just enough. The fire responds gently, a soft crackle, a small rise of flame, orange light flickering against the walls. It is not a large fire. It does not need to be, only a quiet warmth to carry the evening forward. Eric sits back, watching the flames for a moment. They move slowly, shifting, bending, never still, but never fast. Outside, the village grows quieter still. Footsteps become fewer, voices softer, movements slower. Sigrid enters the home. She carries a small bundle of herbs. Their scent is light, calm, slightly sweet. She kneels beside the fire, placing the herbs carefully near the warmth. Not too close, just enough for their scent to gently rise. The air begins to change. A soft, earthy fragrance fills the space. Subtle, comforting, steady. She sits beside Eric. No words are needed, only presence. For a while, they both remain still, listening to the quiet fire, to the distant sound of the sea. to the slow breathing of the evening. Outside, the sky continues to shift. Gold fades into soft amber, amber into a gentle gray blue. A bird calls once, then again. Before settling somewhere unseen, the breeze has slowed. It moves only slightly now, like a whisper passing through the village. Eric leans back slightly, resting his hands on the ground behind him. His body feels calm, tired in a gentle way, not heavy, not strained. The day has been full, but never rushed. Each moment has come and gone in its own time. Sigrid begins a small task. She takes a piece of cloth and a bit of thread. Her hands move slowly, mending a simple tear. In and out, in and out. The motion is soft, repetitive, almost like breathing. The firelight flickers across her hands, casting small shadows that move with each stitch. Eric watches for a moment, then lets his gaze drift again toward the doorway, where the last light of the day lingers. It grows dimmer now, slowly, gently. Outside, a few small fires begin to appear, one here, another there, soft points of warm light in the fading evening. The village is not asleep, but it is preparing for rest. A child's quiet voice drifts past, then fades. Footsteps move slowly, then disappear. Everything softens, everything slows. Inside the home, the fire becomes the center of light. Its glow warm, steady, calm. Eric closes his eyes for a moment, just to feel the warmth, just to listen. In and out, in and out. The scent of herbs, the soft crackle of wood, the distant sea, all blend together into one quiet presence. Time moves, but it does not feel like moving, only a gentle deepening of stillness. Sigrid finishes her mending. She sets the cloth aside. Her hands come to rest. Neither of them speaks. There is no need. The evening holds them gently. The village holds them gently. The sea, always there, holds everything in its quiet rhythm. Take a slow breath here. Let your thoughts grow softer. Let the day fade. Just a little more. In and out. In and out. The light continues to dim. The night is slowly approaching. Soft, calm, unfolding without hurry. The light continues to fade. Slowly, almost unnoticed, as evening gently becomes night. The sky outside shifts into deeper tones, soft blue turning into quiet gray, then, slowly, into a calm and endless darkness. Inside the home, the fire glows steadily. Its light flickers along the wooden walls, creating soft shadows that move, then pause, then move again. Eric remains seated, his body now fully at rest. The warmth of the fire reaches him, not strong, but steady and comforting. Sigrid leans slightly closer to the fire. She adjusts one small piece of wood, turning it gently so it burns evenly. A soft crackle follows. Then stillness again. The herbs near the fire continue to release their scent, light, calming, filling the air in a quiet, steady way. Outside, the village has grown very still. Only a few soft sounds remain. A door closing in the distance. A faint step across the ground. Then nothing again. The sea continues its slow rhythm. Even in the dark, it does not change. Waves come and go, come and go. Always steady, always calm. Eric slowly shifts his position. He lies back onto a folded blanket, placing his head gently down. The surface beneath him is firm, but familiar, comforting in its own simple way. He looks upward. The ceiling above is dark, lit only by the soft glow of the fire. Small lines of wood, patterns shaped over time. His eyes grow heavier, not suddenly, but slowly, as if guided by the quiet around him. Sigrid moves gently as well. She settles beside him, pulling a wool blanket over herself. The fabric is thick, softened by use. holding the warmth of many nights. The fire continues to glow, its light now lower, softer, more still. Outside, the sky is now fully dark. Stars begin to appear, one, then another, then many more, small points of light, scattered across the quiet sky. Though unseen from inside, their presence is felt, a calm above the calm. The air cools slightly, a gentle shift, not sharp, not sudden, just enough to be noticed, then accepted. The breeze moves once more, very lightly now. It passes along the walls, through small openings, barely a whisper. Eric closes his eyes. His breathing slows. In and out, in and out. Each breath soft, even, unhurried. The sounds of the day are gone now. No footsteps, no voices, only the fire and the distant sea. Time feels different here. It stretches, softens, loses its edges. Sigrid's breathing becomes slow as well, matching the quiet rhythm of the night. The fire dims a little more. The flames smaller now, lower, but still present. Shadows settle into stillness, no longer shifting, no longer moving, just resting. The village sleeps, each home quiet, each person at rest, wrapped in warmth, in calm, in silence. The sea continues, always the same, a soft hush, a gentle return, over and over. Take a slow breath here. Let your body grow heavier. Let your thoughts drift further away. In and out, in and out. The night deepens, soft, endless, and calm. Nothing disturbs it. Nothing breaks the quiet. Only rest, only stillness, and the gentle passing of time. The night settles deeper now, soft and wide, stretching quietly over the village and the sea. The darkness is not heavy, not overwhelming. It feels calm, like a gentle cover, resting over everything. Inside the home, the fire has grown very low. Only a few glowing embers remain, soft orange, fading slowly, giving just enough light to see the quiet shapes of the room. Eric lies still, his breathing slow and even. In and out, in and out. Each breath softens further, blending into the silence around him. Sigrid rests beside him. Her breathing matches his, calm, steady, a shared rhythm of rest. The blanket rises and falls gently with each slow breath. Outside, the village is fully asleep. No footsteps, no voices, only stillness. The sky above is clear. Stars fill the darkness, small, quiet points of light. They do not move quickly. They simply rest, watching over the silent land below. The sea continues its endless motion. Waves come and go. Even now, in the deep night, nothing changes. The same soft rhythm, the same quiet sound. Closer to the shore, water touches the sand, then slips away again. Touch and release, touch and release. A small boat shifts slightly in the water. Its rope holds it in place, allowing only a gentle movement. Back and forth, back and forth. Inside the village, each home holds its own quiet space. Families resting, wrapped in warmth, surrounded by the calm of night. The air has cooled further, not cold, just still and fresh. A faint breeze passes once, then fades again, so light it almost feels imagined. Inside Eric's home, the embers dim a little more, their glow softer now, fading, but not gone. A small sound, a quiet shift of wood, then stillness again. Eric remains deeply at rest, his body still, his mind quiet. There are no thoughts that need to be followed, no tasks waiting, no movement required, only rest. Time moves, but very gently, so gently. It is almost impossible to feel. The stars continue to shine above, unchanging, steady, calm. The sea continues below, always moving, always returning. The village rests between them, held by sky, held by water, held by quiet. Inside the home, the last warmth of the fire lingers, a soft presence, barely there, but enough. The blanket remains warm, the air remains still, everything remains calm. Take a slow breath here. Let your body sink even deeper. Feel the stillness, feel the quiet. In and out, in and out. Nothing needs to change, nothing needs to begin. Only rest continues. The night stretches on, soft, endless, peaceful, and the village sleeps. Without worry, without hurry, just quiet, gentle rest. The night continues, deep and quiet, unbroken and still. The darkness rests gently over the land, not empty, but full of calm. Inside the home, the embers have dimmed even more. Now they are only a faint glow, soft, low, like a quiet memory of warmth. Eric remains asleep, his breathing slow, even, steady, in and out, in and out. Sigrid rests beside him, just as still. Their breaths rise and fall, together, in a quiet rhythm. The blanket holds its warmth. The air inside remains calm, soft, and unmoving. Outside, the village is wrapped in silence. No movement, no sound of footsteps, no voices carried through the air. Only the distant sea remains, always present, always gentle. Waves come and go, come and go. The sound reaches softly, barely there, like a whisper at the edge of hearing. Above, the stars continue their quiet watch. They shine steadily, without flicker, without hurry. The sky feels wide, endless, calm beyond measure. A cloud drifts slowly across a part of the sky. It moves so gently, its change is almost invisible. The air grows a little cooler, just slightly, a soft shift. That settles into the stillness. Near the edge of the village, a wooden fence stands quietly, its shape steady, its surface worn smooth by time. Beside it, tall grass moves just a little. A faint breeze passes through, then fades again. Nothing lingers. Nothing disturbs the calm. Closer to the shore, the small boats rest where they were left, their shapes dark against the water, barely visible. They move only slightly, back and forth, back and forth. The ropes hold them gently. No tension, no strain, just quiet support. The water reflects the sky. Small ripples break the reflection, then smooth again. Time continues to pass, but without measure. No one marks the hours. No one waits for change. Inside the home, the embers fade a little more. Now only a soft red glow remains. The warmth is faint, but still present. Just enough. Eric shifts slightly in his sleep. A small movement, then stillness again. His breathing remains slow, deep, calm, untroubled. Sigrid remains still beside him, wrapped in quiet rest. The night holds everything gently. The homes, the people, the land, the sea, all resting together. There is no separation, only a shared stillness. Take a slow breath here. Let your body feel completely at ease, supported, calm, safe. In and out, in and out. The quiet deepens. Even the smallest sounds fade. Only the soft rhythm of breath remains. Only the distant sea. The stars continue above. The village rests below, and between them, everything is still. The night carries on, soft, endless, unchanging. A peaceful pause, without beginning, without end. The night slowly begins to shift. Not suddenly, not in any way that can be clearly seen, just a very gentle change, a soft turning, deep within the quiet. The darkness remains, but it feels lighter now, as if something far away is beginning to wake. Inside the home, The embers have nearly faded. Only a faint trace of warmth remains, barely glowing, barely visible. Eric still rests, his breathing steady, soft and deep. In and out, in and out. Sigrid rests beside him, wrapped in the same quiet rhythm. Nothing disturbs them. Nothing calls them away from rest. Outside, the village is unchanged, still, silent, at peace. The sky above begins a slow transformation. The stars are still there, but their light softens slightly. Not gone, just fading, little by little. At the far edge of the horizon, a very faint gray begins to appear, so soft, it is almost impossible to notice. The sea continues its gentle motion. Waves come and go, as they have through the night, as they always will. But now, there is a slight difference in the air, a softness, a quiet anticipation. A bird stirs somewhere unseen, just a small movement, a slight rustle, then stillness again. The breeze returns, very gently. It carries the coolness of night, but also something new, a hint of change. Inside the home, Eric shifts slightly. Not awake, not yet, just a small movement. As the body senses the passing of time, his breathing remains slow, calm, even. Sigrid remains still. The blanket rises and falls gently. The air feels a little different now. Still calm, still quiet, but lighter. Outside, the shapes of the village begin to return. Very slowly, the outlines of homes, the edges of paths, faint but present. The sky continues to brighten, just a little more, gray blending into soft blue. Still dim, still gentle. A bird calls, very softly, once, then silence again. The sound is small, but it carries a quiet signal that the night is beginning to loosen its hold. The sea reflects the change, its surface no longer fully dark, now touched by a faint, pale light. The boats near the shore become slightly more visible. Still shapes, resting, waiting. Time moves forward, but slowly, always slowly. Inside, Eric's eyes begin to stir. Not open, just a slight awareness. A soft return from deep rest. His breathing shifts, only a little. Still calm, still steady. Sigrid remains in sleep, unmoved, peaceful. The faint light grows a little stronger, still soft, still quiet, but present. The stars begin to fade now, one by one, not disappearing, just becoming part of the growing light. The village is still resting, but not as deeply. The stillness feels lighter. Take a slow breath here. Feel the gentle change, not an ending, not a beginning, just a soft transition. In and out. In and out. The night is slowly becoming morning, without sound, without rush, only a quiet shift. Carried by time itself, the early morning light continues to grow, soft, pale, and gentle. It spreads slowly across the sky, filling the darkness with a quiet, gray-blue glow. Inside the home, the room begins to take shape again. The outlines of the walls, the benches, the resting figures, all returning slowly, without sharpness, without sudden change. Eric's eyes open, just slightly, not fully awake, just aware. He remains still. His body is warm beneath the blanket, his breath steady, his mind calm. For a moment, he does nothing. He listens. The sea, still there, a soft hush, familiar, constant. A bird calls again, a little clearer now, still gentle, still distant. Eric takes a slow breath in and lets it out. He opens his eyes a little more. The dim light touches the ceiling above, softly outlining the wooden beams. Beside him, Sigrid still rests, her breathing slow, unchanged. Eric does not rise yet. There is no need. Morning has arrived, but it arrives slowly here. Outside, the village begins to wake, very gently. A faint movement from one home, then stillness, then another. The sky continues to brighten. The gray fades into soft blue. The blue begins to carry a hint of pale gold. The sea reflects this change, its surface now lighter, still calm, still steady. Eric slowly lifts his hand, resting it lightly on the blanket, feeling the texture, the warmth, the quiet comfort. He takes another breath, in and out, then, very slowly, he begins to sit up. His movement is careful, unhurried, as if the quiet of the night still lingers within him. He pauses in this position, sitting, looking gently toward the doorway. The light outside is soft, not bright, just enough to see the outline of the village again. A faint line of smoke rises from a nearby home. Someone else has woken, tending to their fire, beginning their day. Eric places his feet on the ground. The earth beneath feels cool, slightly firm, familiar. He stands slowly. No sudden motion, only a gentle return to movement. He looks once more at Sigrid. She remains at rest, peaceful, undisturbed. Eric steps toward the doorway, each step quiet, soft against the ground. He reaches the entrance and pauses. Outside, the morning is waiting. The air is cool again, fresh, light. A thin mist has returned, hovering softly near the shoreline. Just like the morning before, the village is still mostly quiet. A few figures move slowly, beginning their routines. Eric steps outside. The ground is slightly damp, cool beneath his feet. He takes a slow breath in. The air carries the scent of sea, of earth, of wood smoke just beginning again. He looks toward the water. The waves move as they always do. Come and go, come and go. Nothing has changed, and yet a new day has begun. A bird glides low across the sky, its wings steady, silent. In the distance, another villager walks toward the shore, their steps slow, just like Eric's were yesterday. The rhythm continues, unbroken, endless. Eric stands for a moment longer, watching, breathing, being. Then he begins to walk, slowly, steadily, toward the shoreline once again. The day begins as it always does, quiet, gentle, without hurry. Take a slow breath here. Feel the softness of a new morning. Not rushed, not loud, just calm and steady. In and out, in and out. The cycle continues, as it always has, as it always will. The morning continues to unfold, softly, without rush, without demand. The light grows a little stronger now, touching the tops of the homes, spreading gently across the ground, warming the grass, the wood, the quiet paths between them. Eric walks toward the shoreline, just as he did the day before, and the day before that, each step steady, familiar, unhurried. The mist rests lightly over the water, a thin layer, soft and pale. It moves slowly, shifting, drifting, never still, but never fast. The sea continues its quiet rhythm. Waves come and go, come and go. Eric reaches the edge of the shore. He pauses, just as he always does. He looks out across the wide water, endless, calm, steady. There is no change in the sea, no sudden movement, no disturbance, only the same gentle motion, the same quiet presence. Behind him, the village begins to wake again. A door opens, softly. Footsteps move across the ground, slow and light. A faint curl of smoke rises into the morning air. The rhythm returns, just as it always does. Eric kneels beside the water. He lowers his hands, touching the surface gently. The water is cool, clean, refreshing. He lifts his hands, letting the droplets fall back into the sea. Small circles form, then fade. For a moment, he simply remains there, still, quiet, present. The breeze passes lightly, cooler than the air, carrying the scent of salt. A bird calls above, one soft sound, then another. The sky continues to brighten. Pale gold begins to spread along the horizon, blending softly with the blue. Eric stands slowly, turning back toward the village. He walks along the same path, each step known, each movement gentle. The homes come into view again. Grass roofs, wooden walls, simple shapes, resting quietly together. Villagers begin their morning routines. A woman walks toward the well, carrying a bucket. A man steps outside, stretching slowly, breathing in the fresh air. A child stands in a doorway, watching the world wake. Everything moves as it did before. No change in pace, no change in feeling. The same calm, the same quiet, the same gentle flow of life. Eric reaches his home. He pauses once more at the doorway, looking out across the village, the sea just beyond, the sky above. He takes a slow breath in and lets it out. Inside, the fire will soon be stirred again. Water will be drawn. Food will be prepared. The same simple tasks, carried out with care. The day will move forward, just as it always does. Not fast, not slow, only steady. Moments will come and go, like the waves, like the light, like the breath. There is comfort in this, a quiet knowing that nothing needs to rush, nothing needs to change, only to continue, gently, calmly, without effort. Eric steps inside. The doorway remains open for a moment, letting in the soft morning light. Then it rests. The village continues its quiet rhythm. The sea continues its endless motion. The sky continues its slow shifting. Everything in balance, everything at ease. Take one last slow breath. Let your body feel completely at rest. Let your thoughts drift far away. In and out, in and out. The story softens now, like the fading of a distant sound, like the quiet end of a long, gentle day. Nothing ends suddenly. It simply becomes still, and in that stillness, there is calm, there is rest, there is quiet. Sleep comes easily here, soft, natural, unforced, and the rhythm continues, even as you drift, slow, steady, endless, just like the sea.